Ladies and gentlemen, I speak to you not as one who has never tasted pain, but as one who has been burned by it and still chose to rise. I stand before you to declare that the wounds you hide today may one day become the wings that carry you to destiny. I say unto you, listen not with your ears, but with the scars on your soul. For this is not just a speech, he is a mirror to your struggle, a voice for your silent wars, a torch for your darkest nights. If you have ever been broken, betrayed, or buried under the weight of life, then stay and hear these words, for they may just be the fire that wakes the sleeping giant within you. Pain is the greatest teacher that never lies. It arrives uninvited, sits at your table without permission, and teaches you lessons no classroom ever could. While others may run from it, deny it, or numb themselves against it, I say to you, embrace it. Because pain is not your enemy, it is your awakener. In the moments when life grips your throat and your soul trembles under the weight of disappointment, failure, betrayal, or loss, that is the moment truth walks in. When everything you counted on falls apart, when the ground beneath your feet begins to crack, what is left is not weakness. What remains is raw, unfiltered strength waiting to be discovered. Many want to rise, but few are willing to fall. Many want to shine, but they flee from the fire. But it is only in the heat of pain that impurities are burned away. The gold in you will not emerge through applause, it will rise through agony. There is no shortcut to greatness, no elevator to destiny. There is only the long, narrow, painful road carved by experience. When pain knocks at your door, it does not come empty-handed. It carries with it the very tools that shape character. And you, my brothers and sisters, you must not run from it. You must learn from it. You must allow it to chisel you into something that this world cannot ignore. You see, comfort deceives, but pain reveals. In comfort, we forget who we are. We become complacent. We grow soft, but pain is the mirror that shows you what you're truly made of. When you are abandoned, when you are misunderstood, when your dreams are delayed and the nights are sleepless, that is when your soul is sculpted into a warrior. Those who have never cried in silence, those who have never battled with themselves in the dead of night, they will never understand the strength it takes just to keep breathing when your world is crumbling. That strength does not come from books or titles or fortune. It comes from pain. Pain speaks a language that all human beings understand. No matter your nation, your color, your belief, pain is the great equalizer. It humbles the proud and awakens the sleeping. It forces you to choose, will you remain a victim of your wounds, or will you rise with wisdom etched into your bones? It is in the breaking that we become whole. It is in the storm that we learn how to sail. You may fall to your knees, but let it not be in defeat, let it be in preparation for your rise, because what knocks you down today may just be the foundation on which you stand tomorrow. Too often we wish away pain. We want instant success, instant healing, instant victory. But nothing of true worth is built in a moment. A tree must first be buried before it breaks the soil. A diamond must first endure immense pressure before it shines. And you must go through your fire before your purpose can emerge. So the next time you find yourself weeping, doubting, aching, know this, it is not the end, it is the beginning of your transformation. The greatest leaders, the greatest thinkers, the greatest revolutionaries, they were not made in palaces. They were forged in prisons, in exile, in failure, in rejection. They heard the whispers of pain and they listened. They understood that there is something sacred in suffering, not because suffering is noble in itself, but because of what it can produce. It produces clarity. It produces resilience. It produces authenticity. And the world does not need more perfect people. It needs more authentic ones. People who have walked through fire and come out not bitter, but better. People who have been scarred and still chose to love. People who have been broken and still chose to build. So I ask you, the pain you carry, what will you do with it? Will you let it destroy you? Or will you allow it to discipline you, shape you, sharpen you? Will you waste the lesson, or will you let it water the seed of greatness buried deep within you? Because your pain is not pointless, your suffering is not in vain. What you're going through is not evidence that you are weak, it is proof that you are being strengthened in places the eye cannot see. Anyone can celebrate in the sun, but who among us can still walk with dignity in the storm? It is easy to lift your head when life is lifting you, but the true measure of a human being is found not when everything is going well, but when everything is falling apart. Struggle, that word we are taught to fear, is the very soil in which character is grown. For it is not success that makes you powerful, it is the suffering you endure and the strength you extract from it. Success may give you applause, but struggle gives you authenticity. And I tell you today, the world is not transformed by those who float through life untouched. It is transformed by those who have been bruised, battered, and still choose to build. Understand me clearly, struggle builds what success never could. Struggle introduces you to yourself. It strips away the illusion and forces you to look your fears in the eye. It takes away your comfort and dares you to survive with nothing but your will. And in that moment, you either break or you build. You either run or you rise. When you struggle and refuse to give up, something powerful happens. Your soul begins to grow teeth. Your mind sharpens. Your spirit deepens. You develop a kind of strength that cannot be taught, it must be lived. There are people who walk into a room and command respect, not because of their wealth, not because of their fame, but because their scars speak. You can see it in their eyes, they've been through the fire. You can hear it in their voice, they've wrestled with demons and did not surrender. You can feel it in their presence, they carry the weight of wisdom earned through pain. These are not fragile beings. They are not made of glass, they are made of iron wrapped in flesh, and it was the struggle that forged them. You cannot build muscle without resistance. You cannot build resilience without pressure. The same way the gym requires weight to grow the body, life requires hardship to grow the soul. When you struggle to hold on, when you fight to rise again after being knocked down, that is your transformation in progress. There are some things only pain can teach you. How to be patient when everything inside you wants to quit. How to be disciplined when nobody is watching. How to believe in yourself when no one else does. These lessons are not written in books, they are engraved into your being by fire. You see, many desire the crown, but few are willing to carry the cross. They want the throne, but run from the trial. But I say, if you have not wept, you cannot truly lead. If you have not struggled, you cannot truly understand. For greatness is not inherited, it is earned through agony, sacrifice, and unwavering will. Look around the world and you will find that the most powerful voices are those that come not from luxury but from loss, not from comfort but from chaos, and yet they rise because struggle did not kill them, it crowned them. You must never be ashamed of your struggle. Your pain is not a stain, it is a badge. It is proof that you were tested and you did not run. The man or woman who has never been tested can never be trusted. Because only through struggle do you learn the depth of your endurance, the fire of your faith, and the resilience of your spirit. Do not envy those who seem to have had it easy, for comfort can make you soft, but struggle will make you solid. There is a generation rising that must not be built on shortcuts and sugar-coated dreams. They must be built on discipline, on grit, on truth, on the unshakable foundation that only struggle can provide. Let your trials teach you how to stand. Let your burdens teach you how to breathe deeper. Let your defeats teach you how to rise stronger, because one day your struggle will not be your shame, it will be your story. And your story will be someone else's survival manual. So when the storm comes, don't curse it. When the road is hard, don't abandon it. When you fall, don't fear it, for every struggle is shaping you. Every hardship is hardening you. Every failure is forming you. The world does not remember those who had it easy. The world remembers those who fought battles and refused to back down. And when history tells your story, let it say you were not born with ease, you were born for endurance. Let it say you didn't just survive the struggle, you became the strength. Every great life story is written in the language of resilience, not in comfort, not in luxury, not in applause. The stories that shake the world, that echo across generations, are not those of easy victories but of painful perseverance. The ones who rise are not those who never fell, but those who refused to stay down. Your life, no matter how ordinary it may seem today, is being shaped into a testimony, and if you can hold on through the storm, you will tell a story that will one day heal others. Your scars will speak louder than your success ever could. It is easy to admire the hero on the mountain, but few want to walk through the valley that shaped them. The songs of strength we sing today were first whispered in the shadows of suffering. Behind every strong man, behind every fearless woman, there is a chapter that nearly broke them. And yet they turned their pain into power. They did not ask the world for permission to rise. They did not wait for the world to validate their worth. They looked into the darkness and found a light within themselves that could not be extinguished. Resilience is not built in comfort, it is built in crisis. It is forged in those lonely nights when your mind is at war and your heart is heavy. It is born when the people you trusted the most walk away, when the dreams you held close begin to fade, and all you have left is your will to continue. And still you rise. That rising, my brothers and sisters, is your power. That rising is the foundation of your legacy. You see, it is not the falling that defines a person, it is the getting up. History does not favor the flawless. It favors the fighters, those who were knocked down 1,000 times and stood up 1,001. Those who failed, were laughed at, were misunderstood, and still pressed forward with fire in their hearts. They understood that their story was not over simply because life turned the page. They knew that every broken piece was part of the masterpiece. The storms they endured were not signs of weakness, but evidence that they were being prepared for something greater. You may feel that your journey is insignificant. You may believe that your pain has no purpose. But I tell you, someone is watching you. Someone will one day survive because you didn't quit. Someone will one day find strength because you dared to keep going. That's why your story matters. That's why your struggle is sacred. It is not just about you. Your victory will be a voice for the voiceless. Your strength will be a shelter for the shattered. So don't hide your wounds, wear them like armor. For every scar has a name, every tear has a memory, and every trial has a lesson. Even the earth tells us this truth. The strongest trees grow where the wind is the fiercest. The deepest roots grow where the soil is the hardest. So why then do we despise the storms of life? Why do we curse the wind when it is making us stronger? You were not built for easy days. You were not born for comfort zones. You were crafted for greatness, and greatness demands resistance. If you are struggling, it means your story is still unfolding. If you are hurting, it means your soul is stretching. And if you are tired, it means you've been fighting. But keep fighting, keep walking. Because the same fire that burns also refines. Let your resilience be louder than your regret. Let your comeback be greater than your collapse. Do not be ashamed of where you've been. It's not the perfect past that inspires others, it's the honest one. People do not need more superheroes. They need more human beings who have fallen and risen, broken and healed, lost and found purpose again. Your life, when lived in truth and courage, becomes a living letter. A letter that someone else will one day read and find hope. So I say to you now, do not close the book just because the current chapter is painful. Do not silence your voice just because the world does not understand your struggle. You are still being written. You are still being shaped, and one day, when the dust settles and the wounds have healed, your story will be a map for the lost, a song for the weary, and a sword for the broken. And that story will remind the world that resilience was not just a word, it was the force that built unshakable lives. Pain is not just a punishment, it is a signal that something inside you is changing, shifting, evolving. Too often when pain visits us, we ask the wrong question. We say, why is this happening to me? Instead of asking, what is this trying to teach me? And until we change that question, we will never uncover the strength that pain came to reveal. Because pain does not knock on your door to destroy you. It comes to transform you. It comes not to end your journey, but to redirect your path toward purpose. The fire that burns you is the same fire that can refine you. The pressure that breaks you is the same pressure that can mold you. But you must choose how to respond. When pain enters your life, you can either curse the darkness or light a candle. You can either sink beneath the weight or rise above the flame. The difference is not in the pain itself. The difference is in how you interpret it. Those who understand this truth do not run from pain. They listen to it, they study it, they embrace it, not because they enjoy suffering, but because they know that growth has never come without discomfort. There are moments when life will hit you so hard you begin to question your very identity. It will strip you of your pride, of your plans, of your illusions, and in those moments you are left face to face with your essence. That is when you realize that transformation is never gentle. It comes with chaos, it comes with breaking, and in the midst of that breaking, if you listen closely, you will hear the voice of your inner strength rising like a whisper in the storm. That voice is quiet, but it is relentless. That voice says, you are not done, you are not defeated, you are becoming. When pain arrives, it doesn't come to ask for your permission, it comes to force the awakening you've been avoiding. It comes to stir the hunger you buried, it comes to reignite the dream you abandoned. Pain is not always an enemy. Sometimes it is the only honest friend you have. It tells you the truth no one else dares to speak. It exposes your weaknesses not to shame you, but to train you. It shows you your limits so you can break past them. You will never know how far you can go until life dares you to go further. You will never know how strong you are until being strong becomes your only option. You must understand nothing significant is ever born without pain. The child, before it breathes, must cry. The seed, before it grows, must break. And the human soul, before it becomes powerful, must be stretched by struggle. So don't just go through the pain. Grow through it. Use every tear as a lesson. Use every setback as fuel. Let every heartbreak teach you how to love deeper. Let every failure sharpen your focus. Do not let pain close your heart. Let it open your eyes. The people who walk in power are not the ones who avoided pain. They are the ones who faced it, wrestled with it, and emerged with clarity. They turned their wounds into wisdom. They did not wait for someone to save them. They saved themselves by choosing not to remain in the pit life threw them into. And now they stand tall. Not because they never fell, but because they refused to stay down. You too have that power. That same fire lives in you. You just have to decide that pain will not be your prison. It will be your preparation. Let every trial refine your character. Let every loss deepen your vision. Let every sleepless night become the soil where your future strength is planted. Stop asking for an easier life and start asking for the strength to endure the one you have. Stop seeking escape and start seeking elevation. Your pain is not in vain. It is pushing you towards something greater, something higher, something necessary. You cannot skip the process. You cannot fast-track transformation. You must be broken to be rebuilt. And what is rebuilt is always stronger than what was never tested. The world will try to tell you to hide your pain, to silence your struggle, to pretend everything is fine. But I say, do not hide the fire that is refining you. Let the world see your transformation. Let them witness the making of a soul that refused to be crushed, because pain that is transformed becomes power. Suffering that is understood becomes strength. And once you rise from that place of pain, you will no longer speak from theory. You will speak from testimony. And the world listens to those who have lived through the fire and chose not to be consumed.